What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about current news in Norway. Because as an American, I never get to see Norwegian news here in the United States from any of our news or media. So today, I'd like to take some time to learn about the current news and events happening in Norway right now, starting with this article that I found called Norway Prepares for Biggest Storm in 30 Years. 30 years. In some of the past news videos I've done on Norway, I've been hearing a lot about how Norway is just getting absolutely hit by the winter this year. Oh my God. It's pretty scary. And I thought it was bad, like, some of the news I was hearing the last few weeks about winter in Norway. And then I find this. This is actually a few days old now. But the biggest storm in 30 years in Norway. So this is a winter storm. I imagine Norway already like gets pretty intense winter, but this is the worst storm in 30 years. Or is this a winter storm, or is it like a hurricane or something? Let's read a bit. Norway's central Atlantic coast is battening down as authorities warned that the country could see its most powerful storm in 3 decades, urged people to stay inside. Oh my God. Norway's central coast battened down. Hurricane force winds are expected to hit the region as air traffic companies and ferry lines predict disruptions. Yeah. 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 I don't think you want to be flying or on a ferry. That's very Norwegian, a ferry. That would not be even a thought here in America. Those are probably going to shut down. Hurricane force winds. So this isn't like a snowstorm. This is like a tropical storm, maybe, or a wind storm. Police warn that gusts of 126 to 180 kilometers per hour, 78 to 112 miles per hour. That's insane. That's extremely dangerous. That all right, by midday Wednesday, there were scattered reports of ferry lines linking Norwegian islands suspending service, closing of schools, roads, tunnels, bridges. Man, you can't get anywhere right now. Oh my God. Is this have anything to do with that Norway is located it has a big coastline. Norway is located on a big coast of the ocean. Does that open it up to this kind of weather? Named Ingun by Norwegian meteorologists, the storm was expected to land in central Norway around midday Wednesday before moving north Thursday. Okay, which brings me to this article here is more up to date. It's still a little old. A little more up to date. Norway's most powerful storm in 30 years rips roofs off houses, cuts power. This storm is ripping the roof off of Norwegian homes. That is horrible, terrifying, horrible. So the storm is like happening. It has hit Norway. I mean, by now, maybe this is old news. Maybe the storm is gone by now. What did they say? It's oh, we got some pictures here. Oh, some emergency vehicles. Oh my God, some boats. The sea looks terrible. Okay. A police officer in Central Borda, northern Norway, during extreme weather. Residents of central Norway awoke to scenes of havoc and homes without power, following the country's most powerful storm. Okay, so the storm has hit Norway. The damage has been done. Okay. I was a little confused because some of these articles were written like longer ago. The I had no idea, but I had no idea till now that the most powerful, horrific storm in 3 decades was coming for Norway, and has hit, and is causing mayhem. This has not at all been talked about in American news at all. I had no idea about this. My deepest, sympathy for Norwegians that are actually struggling through this right now. Possibly unable to travel anywhere. Possibly with your home being destroyed. That's beyond tragic. And I hope everyone is safe. As safe as you can be. Norway's most powerful storm in 3 decades raged Thursday, cutting off roofs, cutting off power, up to 112 miles an hour. That's terrifying. Near Lærdal, a small town northeast of Bergen. Bergen, which is like southwest Norway, Norway's second largest city. A bus with 14 passengers was blown off the road. This is terrifying. I've never experienced anything like this, personally. We really don't get this kind of extreme weather in the United States. Well, you can if you live in the South, in some of the southern states of the United States. So, I guess places that are just close to the ocean and get unlucky with the weather. There's been hurricanes to hit the United States. That's true. I've just been fortunate that it has never affected me personally. But Norway is a lot smaller of a country. So when a storm like this hits Norway, it hits the majority of it by the sound of it. A bus was blown off the road. No injuries reported. That's good. Some areas flooded, and airlines and ferry operators suspended service. That's probably for the best. Oh my gosh. It was 120-mile-an-hour winds. Hurricane strength gusts reported in Sweden. The storm named Ingun. Okay, so the storm has a name. Is this a hurricane named Ingun? We name them here in America too. It landed in central Norway and moved north. Oh my god. Windows blown out of a hotel. There's a danger to life and health, says the police. Yes, absolutely. University Hospital of North Norway said part of a roof was damaged. I'm surprised it's not a lot worse. 100-mile-an-hour winds. That's terrifying. I mean, maybe it could be worse. I'm just going off what I have here in this article. It very well could be worse, and I just don't know about it. Roof tiles flying everywhere. Visibility poor. Oh my god. Public safety agency received 40 to 50 reports, people affected by the storm. Oh man, too early to assess and estimate the cost of the damage. Oh my god. The storm hit the same area as the 1992 New Year's hurricane, one of the strongest storms in Norway's history. Oh my god. Seriously though, my heart goes out to Norwegians affected by this. That's terrifying. And I hope people are starting to recover from this. I hope that it's over and people are starting to recover. The coverage of this isn't good in the United States, so I actually don't know at this moment what's going on, if the storm has passed or not. But I hope for the best, truly. Moving on here, world's largest sovereign wealth fund posts record $213 billion profit. And by world's largest sovereign wealth fund, that means Norway. So I guess this is finally a little good news today. Good news to Norway, you're rich. You made $200 billion from the wealth fund. Norway's sovereign wealth fund reported a record profit of 2.2 trillion kroner, or $200 billion. That is outrageous. That Norway just has a fund of investments that just sits there and makes $200 billion a year. That's outrageous. Because of investment in technology stocks. Despite inflation and geopolitical turmoil, the equity market was strong. Right. The market did. A lot of tech stocks and markets went up this year. Certainly in the United States, it made a big recovery here. And I think Norway is capitalizing on that. Holy cow. But Norway lost 1.6 trillion kroner in 2022 and then kind of gained it back this year. Okay, so it's not as good as it sounds. Norway lost a lot of money in 2022, and the Norwegian Sovereign Wealth Fund gained a lot of money this year. Okay. Okay. Let's keep going here. What else do we have? Norway's aging king, Harald V, is on sick leave because of a respiratory infection. Oh no. Is this scary? I mean, Harold is old. Respiratory infection. I don't know how serious that is. This is terrible. Norway's aging king, Harald V, on sick leave. Okay, he's just on leave. He expects to come back. Yeah, he looks good. How old is he? 86. 86. He looks amazing. And he expects to come back that quickly. 86, that's fantastic. 86-year-old monarch who has repeatedly said he has no plans to abdicate, like Queen Margaret II of Denmark did recently. I heard about that. Has been hospitalized several times in recent months. Oh, in December, admitted with an infection. He got antibiotics. Also, last August with a fever. He's been seen using crutches. Had an operation to replace a heart valve. Oh, wow. I did not know that. Holy cow. So Harold is having health problems. I mean, he's 86. But he's coming back every time. And says he wants to continue as king for as long as possible. Cool. Heir to the throne, Crown Prince Haakon, has stepped in, taken over his duties. That's good. He has duties as head of state, and they're ceremonial, holds no political power. Right. Americans don't know much about Norwegian royalty or royalty in general, since we don't have royalty here in America, but they're more symbolic, they're more representatives of Norway, not really lawmakers or anything, right? Okay, let's check out a couple more articles here. Worst year ever for wild salmon fishing in Norwegian rivers. Worst year ever for wild salmon. Oh, isn't that one of Norway's biggest exports? That's a big moneymaker for Norway, right? Worst year for wild salmon. Why? Millionaires, celebrities, and royals from all over the world have traveled to Norway for years to fish for wild salmon. Oh, really? People travel to Norway to fish? They don't just buy Norwegian salmon. It's fun to actually go to. People pay to go to Norway to fish. I didn't know that. Okay. Maybe that's a famous travel thing to do. Now the annual catch has sunk to a new low, worrying locals and nature lovers. In addition, affluent sport fishing fans. So why is the salmon supply running low in Norway? This is dramatic, claims the Secretary General of Norsk Laxsilver, which represents 123 groups and manages rivers known for their wild salmon. Why is salmon down? New statistics show a steep decline in Norway's wild salmon catch from 2022 to 2023. 7,000 salmon caught last year. The catch in 2023 compares to 97,000. So 70,000 this year versus 100,000. That's like a 30% decrease. Yeah, that's like a 30% decrease in salmon. Is there a reason for this? Are the salmon in danger in Norway? Are the salmon being over hunted in Norway? It's a desperate situation for everyone who cares about Norwegian nature. Yeah, okay, this is the reason. He doesn't hesitate to put the blame squarely on the commercial and controversial fish farming industry. Because of the infectious disease it can spread to wild stocks, the salmon in Norway is dying to disease? Is that? The farm fishing industry is the greatest threat to wild salmon? Really? Salmon kept in farming facilities have a tendency to escape. and then they spread disease? What? This is not what I thought was the problem. Really? How do you even begin to combat this? Salmon farms have salmon that escape. How do salmon escape? How do salmon escape from the salmon farming facilities? How does that happen? And then they go and spread disease? What the, is that? This feels like this could be avoidable. The most important thing is to gain control over laxius, lice that can lash onto farmed fish. The farmed fish are infecting the wild salmon. Okay, so Norway is not having a crisis with selling salmon. Norway has a lot of salmon farms, by the sound of it. It's the wild salmon that are in trouble. The natural salmon that people fish for sport. That's in trouble. If we're to rescue wild salmon for the future, the number of fish farms in open production facilities must be reduced. Huh. Several rivers have been closed to sport fishing. Okay. This is a very interesting topic. Very interesting. Definitely not something I would have heard about normally here in America. The wild salmon are in danger in Norway because of farmed salmon spreading lice. I had no idea. Okay, what is this? Oh, does this also have to do with fish farming, fouls fjords, faces fines? Hey, this is related. Norway's huge fish farming industry has become almost as controversial as the country's oil and gas. Salmon producers in particular have been accused of endangering wild salmon. Yes, and from the article we just read, it sounds like that is accurate. Like, that's not even just a theory. That's what's happening. Norway is home to the world's largest salmon producers. Yeah, that's what I thought as well. Norway is, like, known for its salmon. And, like, supplying, also, like, fish for sushi and stuff, right? Doing a lot of that, I believe. What else do we have here? Whole and gutted salmon produced in Norway. What is this? The producers' allegedly anti-competitive conduct, which they have denied. This is getting a bit technical, honestly. Is there anything else here about the salmon that's interesting? No. But based on what we learned in the other article, wild salmon is down 30% in Norway. That's significant. You don't want, like, salmon to become an endangered species or something in Norway. And I think with that, is that all we have here today? I think, what? Arrogant Norway appeals oil field loss? Arrogant? Whoa! Who's calling Norway arrogant? Arrogant Norway appeals oil field loss. Norway's government is appealing a recent court ruling that it failed to comply with an earlier Supreme Court decision, which demands climate impact assessments for new offshore and oil gas fields. Oh man, yeah, it seems like every week I read about Norway getting scrutinized for doing this deep sea mining and oil and how it's contradictory to trying to help the environment and all this stuff. This seems like a very, very, like, hot topic right now, criticizing Norway for oil and stuff. And I don't know. I've just been saying, Norway just sells the oil. It's everyone else who's buying it, so everyone's to blame, really. But I think with that, that's pretty much the news for this week, I think. Man, some really, really tragic news going on right now in Norway, particularly with this storm happening in Norway. I'm very concerned for Norwegians, so I hope everyone is doing okay and is trying to stay safe with that. Other than that, I enjoyed the news for this week. I feel like I'm quite up to date on what's happening in Norway, and that's always great. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like or leave a comment, perhaps with your thoughts on any of this news, or if you've been affected by the storm. That'd be very interesting to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway and Norwegian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.